Hey guys, it's Drea. Today I have my Project Pan monthly update for you. Just to get it out of the way, I'm going to try to make this really fast because this is mostly only updates. I'm only taking out 2 things and bringing in 2 things. I didn't really actually use stuff up this month, but there's just progress. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start out with this. This is my Dior Poison Girl Eau de Toilette. I've been using this all this month. I was keeping this at work. Generally, I was putting on a different perfume in the beginning of the day, and then halfway throughout my work day would kind of refresh with this. So these 2 lines are made with nail polish, and because they're super thick, the top of the line is where the measurement is from, not the space in between. So at the beginning or the end of last month, it was here, and then this month it is here. I know with the liquid moving, it's really hard to see, but you're really just seeing where the progress is, so hopefully you get an idea. Okay, this is my Too Faced Tickled Peach palette. I love this palette. My goal in this is to hit pan on 2 shades, which are the shades Peach Bum and Peach Spice. So that is this one here and this one here. I know I'm for sure gonna hit pan on this one first because I use it every time I do my makeup to set my eyeshadow primer, which is MAC Painterly. And then this one I have been using here and there as my crease shade. I kind of used a little bit of it today. I don't have any plans to hit pan on anything else, but I have been using some other shades in this just because I have it here, I have it open. I've been using this brown shade a lot, which is called Love Pit. This is a really nicely intense brown. But anyway, there is quite a dip already, even in I've only been using this for 1 month. In 1 month's use, there's quite a dip in this shade here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell. Can you tell that there is a dip? You can kind of see the silver on the edge here a little bit. That kind of indicates where the dip is, but yeah, I've been using this a ton. And then this shade here, and then this shade here, doesn't really seem to be any sign of hitting pan yet, but you can see that it's being used quite a bit. This is my Wet n Wild Photofocus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. I haven't been using this a ton. I have had this in here now 1, 2, 3 months. This line is where we started. This is the difference between last month and this month. I just marked this right now. There's, very little getting used every month, and that's really because I haven't been using this when I go to work, just because I have really oily skin. But I'm gonna change this month what I'm doing. I'm gonna try using this every time I go to work and just see if I get oilier faster or whatever, because I've actually been using my MAC Fix Plus Coconut every day. I haven't been using a mattifying primer every day when I go to work. I've only been using Fix Plus, and it is somewhat hydrating, and I haven't really been seeing any negative results. It's been working out fine. So I just thought today, you know what, in order to use this up faster, I'm gonna try using this every day this month. Well, every day that I do my makeup, and I'll get through it faster, and we'll see if it makes any difference. But for now, not a lot of progress, but it's going. This is my Tarte Youth or Dare Multi-Acid and C Serum. I have not been keeping track of how many times I've been using this, but I want to say it's been 3 to 4 times a week. So that's, somewhere between 12 and 16 times this month. I won't know when it's done until it stops going because it's an airless pump and I can't mark it in any way, shape, or form. But I just wanted to let you know that it is going slow and steady, or fast and steady, I don't know. Okay, this is good. This is my Lancome Skin Feels Good foundation. You can actually see, so because this is also kind of a suction and airless pump on it, I can't mark this, but you could see based on me turning it sideways that it is getting really, really squished. All the product is coming down to the bottom, and you can actually see here that there is some window showing through here. There's actually a lot of windows showing. I did keep track of this month because I was actually doing a reverse shot my stash, which I've yet to film, but I used this 7 times this month. So I know that for sure I used this 7 times. And again, I don't wear this to work because very oily skin, and I know for sure this will not work at work. It's just way too hydrating. But there were lots of days this month that I wore makeup twice. Like I would come home, take it off, and then go out that night. Or there were just days that I was filming or whatever. So that's the times that I use this. So I'm getting through this slow and steady. I love this foundation. It's so beautifully natural on the skin. It feels really good. Haha. That's what the name is. Anyway, it feels really good on the skin. It's very nourishing and hydrating. So I really do like this and I want to use it up before it goes bad. So I am happy with the progress on that. Okay, I'm gonna have to overlay what last month looked like on my Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia. This is what this month looks like. Looks very, very gross and messy, but that's the very little amount of product that is left. I have a feeling that this will be gone by next month, but I could be slightly overestimating it. I don't know, but I really think that's probably about 1 month's worth of product. This is what I'm wearing right now. I've been wearing this every time I do my eyebrows now for months. After I used up my last pencil, I just switched to this and have been going strong. I thought about buying a replacement of this during the VIB sale, but ultimately I decided not to. I have a couple other eyebrow products that I can use after this one is done. Okay, this is my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Desperation. Last month I didn't use it at all. Like, I literally had forgotten about it. The September and August lines are the same line because I didn't even use it once that month. But this is the October line. So you can see right here. This is the entirety of the progress since I started it. Started it way back here in June. This is this month. That's how much I've used so far. It's being measured by putting the bottom of it right on the bottom of this card. And I'm pretty happy with the progress of it. This is the color right here. It's just like a very dark gray. It does go with a lot. I feel like when I sharpened it today, it feels like it's getting loose. Like it might be, I don't know, like it might be detached from the bottom. So I'm kind of concerned about that. But I have a feeling that it probably doesn't go all the way to the bottom. So we'll see when it actually gets done. I kind of toyed with the idea of taking this out because I don't know, I've just only been using liquid liner lately, but I'm still gonna try. I'm gonna try and get through it. It would be satisfying to get through it, right? Okay, last 3 things. This is my RCMA No Color Powder, although I transferred it into a Laura Mercier container that had been empty. These are the 2 lines. The first line was September when I brought it in, which was last month, and then the bottom line now is the usage in October. I feel like it's pretty decent. I know this is going to take a really long time to get through, and I'm really okay with that. When I put this in the project, I knew that that was going to happen. I keep wanting to say product and project, and my tongue is getting all tied. I knew that was going to happen, that it was going to take a really long time to get through this. I would estimate by looking at the amount of progress, that's another PR word. I would estimate by the amount of progress that I've made that this will probably take me about 6 months to get through, maybe 5. But anyway, I use this all over my face, and I have, while I've been using my Becca powder to set my under eyes, I've also sometimes been baking with this on my under eyes or placing it there if I'm using shadows with a lot of fallout to catch it. So I have been using this in a couple ways. One time I used it as a dry shampoo too. I just took literally one of my brushes and put it like in my hairline. It worked fine for like 2 hours, but then I felt my hair got really oily again after that. So anyway, I was trying to multi-use it. The last 2 things are the things that are coming out, and these are just my monthly items. So every month I do an eyeshadow of the month, and normally I do a highlighter of the month, but we'll talk about that in a second. This is my eyeshadow palette of the month. This is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette, so not the new one, but the one from last year. I used it 7 times this month. I really enjoyed it. I traveled with it. It traveled really well. It was a good palette to travel with. I think I've used every shade in here, maybe with the exception, I don't think I used this greeny shade. Or this one here, but I think I used every shade in here otherwise. There's a few that I really like. There's a few that I really don't like these kind of glitter toppers, Sugar Daddy and Hot Toddy, really not my favorites. I don't really like the way those types of shadows apply. Today I have a whole ton of these on my eyes. I've got Figgy Pudding, Hot Toddy, which is that really nice deep orange that it goes really nicely just above whatever your crease color is going to be. It just warms everything up a little bit. Figgy Pudding is really good just to blend out with. Of course, Powdered Sugar is a really good brow bone highlight. Gingerbread Latte here is a really perfect kind of transition-y shade. Same with Gingerbread. Those 2 are kind of interchangeable, I think. And then as for my lid, I've got Spiked Eggnog, Warm and Toasty, which is the gold, and then this Ooh Burn one, which is kind of a purple in the outer. So I used quite a few shades today. A lot of these have a lot of, not necessarily fallout, because I didn't experience fallout during the day, but they kick up a lot when you first apply it. And like today I just had purple all on my face that I had to wipe away. So they're very messy, but it's a good quality palette. I really like using it. I think it's a really good fall, you know, it's a good fall color story. So it's really nice to have in my collection. I really enjoy it a lot. The scent is very vanilla-y, not necessarily even gingerbread-y. I would have preferred it to actually smell like gingerbread, not vanilla. It's a very intense smell and I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. But it's cute packaging too. I overall really enjoyed this. I had thought about getting the new Extra Spicy, but after using this all this month, I think it really kind of filled that need for me of wanting to use or wanting to buy the new one. I'm like, I don't need them. They're so similar. This one is fine. It's a nice warm color story palette. I don't need another one. So I'm glad that I used this so that I didn't end up buying the other one. So the highlighter that I used this month was actually an eyeshadow, and this was my Stila Kitten. It's the highlighter that I'm wearing right now. I think it makes a really nice highlighter. You can go a little bit more natural with it, which is I feel like kind of what I did today, and you can really build it up to be very intense. So I counted this month, because I was tracking everything, how many times I wore it. I wore it in total 11 times, but I wore it 8 times as an eyeshadow and 6 times as a highlight, so that doesn't equal 11 because sometimes I was using it at the same time, if that makes sense. But yeah, I did use it 11 times, kept track on the back of it. I really enjoyed it. This is something that was sitting in my collection for probably a year and a half without being touched, and I'm really glad I pulled it out, kind of rediscovered a love for it, got a lot of use out of it. I will probably reach for this a lot more because I did that, and I would encourage you, if you have this in your collection, either in a single or it comes in a lot of Stila palettes, that you try it as a highlighter or try it as an inner corner highlight, because it really is intense and beautiful. And I feel like this is a cult product that not a lot of people you know, the cult status has kind of been revoked a little bit in the last couple of years. I don't know, people don't really talk about it as much anymore. Okay, so bringing in 2 products to replace those, I kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to do as an eyeshadow palette of the month, so I kind of just went with instinct. Literally right before I filmed this, I looked around, I'm like, okay, which one? And I pulled this one. This is the Zodiac Love Signs palette for Beige Cosmetics. These Zodiac palettes are really fantastic quality. They have really nice just matte shadows all in the middle here, nice color selection, and then all of these are just the most stunningly beautiful baked shadows. I'm just going to show you 4, just if you've never seen this palette before. Just really, really pretty baked shadows. I have the original Zodiac palette. That is actually the first one I bought and fell in love with, but I decided to pull this one because I haven't used this one as much. In the beginning of this year, I wanted to do Zodiac sign looks from each one of these palettes every month, and I just wasn't able to follow through on that just because of my life has just changed so dramatically. I'm too busy for it. So I thought, you know what, this month maybe I can just use this a bunch and review it for you, give you my thoughts in full, and actually start getting some use out of it, because I had used the other Zodiac one a lot last year, but this year, this one really has not seen a lot of love, so I'm really happy to be bringing this in. Okay, this is something a little bit different for me to bring in. I'm going to bring in all of these Stila Glitter and Glows. I actually have 3 more, but I pulled all the ones, well, okay, the 3 that I left are ones that I know that I really, really love and usually reach for over other things. So what I wanted to do with all these ones is through the month, I'm gonna have them sitting out. As I use them, I'll put them in another container, and I'm gonna mark them if I wanna keep or declutter, because this would probably be a good exercise for a chopping block video, but you know, I'll just do it in this one. There's definitely some shades in here that I really like Fairy Tale is my newest one. I love it, but it's really intense, so I don't use it a lot. Smoldering Satin, Rose Gold Retro, Smoky Storm are all ones that I know that are pretty, but don't usually reach for. I don't know why. I kind of like to use these as toppers, and the ones that are not toppery, like they really go on in one swipe. They're really opaque. They really are their own standalone eyeshadow. Those ones I don't tend to reach for as much. I don't really know why. I think it's because I really just like using palettes a lot more. Even though, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm gonna drop them everywhere. Even though I absolutely love these, there's times I reach for them and times I don't. So I kind of want to decide, do I want these or do I want to cull them down a bit? And so I'll decide that throughout the month, and next month I will update you. I feel like that's a good use of a project pan, right? Get some use out of each one of these and then decide if I want to keep or get rid of. Okay, that is it for my project pan update. I know it wasn't really as interesting as it usually is. Usually I have products coming in and out, but sometimes they all get used up at once. Hopefully that'll happen next month. I'll have a lot that are actually like come into fruition. Okay, that's it for today. I hope that you really enjoyed. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.